Have you ever wondered what's that one common habit across all the most influential and memorable leaders of the world? I'll give you a few moments to think about this question. Recently, I had a surreal experience at work when I was asked to volunteer for a leaders summit. To my surprise, this event was led by the CEO of our company. I arrived a few minutes earlier when people were setting up for the events and our CEO was already there. As soon as I arrived, he approached me and started by shaking my hands. He asked my name. He started to ask, what do I do in the company? What is my role? What are my responsibilities? And how do I find to work in the company overall, in terms of the culture, in terms of the people, in terms of the leaders? I found those questions quite interesting, and I started to feel that having that personal connection or conversation with him. Once he left, I started to think, and being a naive of the person I am, I started to think, me being the most inexperienced and the youngest person in the room, why did he still spend his 10 minutes of time with me? He being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, he must have more important people than me to talk to in the room. But I noticed something very, very interesting here. He did this not just with me, but with all the volunteers of the event. Then later I realized that this wasn't a coincidence. It's the habit that he practiced. Later when the event started, throughout the event, he started to take people's name. He started to connect the dots that he has conversations with. He started to know people's background, and he started to mention that in the conversation. What did that do? It made the conversation to move from a CEO giving direction to the team to a CEO having a more meaningful and interactive conversation with the team. It suddenly changed the whole dynamics of the room. That made that session more interactive, fun, and rewarding for everyone, because everyone is equally involved in that conversation. For me personally, whenever he mentioned my name, I felt more interacted, I felt more involved in the conversation. Right after the event, I started to reflect on the whole experience, because this is the first time I had such an experience. When I did some research on why leaders behave in this way, I came across an interesting book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. This book is from, if I'm not wrong, almost 8 or 9 decades ago, which says a person's name is the most melodious voice in any language. Let me repeat that one more time. A person's name is the most melodious voice in any language. Whenever you mention somebody's name, they feel more involved, they lean into the conversation, and it makes it memorable for you, not that person, because they think that you genuinely care to mention their name in the conversation. Later, it made me think of a formula to become the most influential and the most memorable person in the room. The formula is attention plus emotion plus repetition. When I say attention, you should always pay attention to people's names, their backgrounds, and things important for them. By emotions, I mean making them feel seen, making them feel involved in the conversation. And repetition is simply repeating their names, repeating their things that are important to them, which will make them feel that you are really genuinely interested in them. By using this simple formula, you will definitely be the most memorable person in the conversation. Now you might ask, how would I remember these many things when the attention span of me is just 3 seconds or 2 seconds? It's very simple. One of the simplest tricks to remember people's name is just to mention that out loud a few times. For example, if you're meeting John, you can say, hello John, how are you doing? So John, tell me, what do you think of this perspective? Or, so John, tell me, what do you think of this problem? How can we solve it? What will happen? John will be more inclined and alert in the conversation. You can do that by also repeating previous conversations. For example, if somebody tells you that their dog was sick in the previous conversation, you can bring that up this time. Hey, you told me last time that your dog was sick. How's he feeling now? By this tiny change into how you speak, it will make people think that yes, you genuinely care for them and you remember them. This is the simple hack to be the most influential and memorable person in the room. So next time you have a conversation with anyone, it could be your friends, people at work, in the university, make sure you use this formula. If you like the content of my video, make sure you share with people and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.